Anna had always been passionate about nature. Since she was a child, the forests of Manaus had been her refuge, a place where she could lose herself in a world of beauty and tranquility. One sunny morning, she decided to hike in a less-known area, drawn by the promise of wild adventures. The scent of wet earth and the song of birds surrounded her, filling her with joy. However, as she strayed further from the main trail, a feeling of discomfort began to creep into her mind. The trees, once inviting, started to look threatening, as if they were watching her movements. While walking, Anna noticed that the sunlight began to fade, creating long, tangled shadows. A snap behind her made her heart race. She turned around, but there was nothing there. "It's just my imagination," she thought, trying to convince herself. Yet deep down, a voice whispered that it was time to turn back. Before she could decide, a man appeared from within the shadows. His gaze was empty, and his presence emanated a disturbing energy. Anna felt a chill run down her spine. "Are you lost?" he asked, his tone blending curiosity with something darker. Anna tried to stay calm as she stepped back. "No, just exploring," she replied, but the uncertainty in her voice betrayed her fear. The man did not move. He simply watched her, a disturbing smile forming on his lips. When Anna began to back away, he grabbed her arm forcefully, pulling her against a tree. Terror engulfed her as he dragged her away from the trail. "Come with me," he commanded. Anna fought desperately, screaming for help, but he took her to an isolated clearing where light barely penetrated. He threw her to the ground, and the reality of her kidnapping began to sink in. "No one will hear you here," the man said with a malicious smile. Despair filled Anna, and the struggle began to feel futile. In the days that followed, she was kept in a cold, dark cave, a place that exuded mold and hopelessness. The man appeared sporadically, bringing scarce food and water, always in a state of restlessness. Each moment spent in the cave felt like a century, and Anna fought to keep hope alive. Memories of her mother, Maria, became her only comfort, a thread of light in a sea of darkness. Meanwhile, Maria began to worry when Anna did not return from her hike, her anxiety growing with each passing hour without news of her daughter. "My God, where are you, Anna?" she called, entering the forest to search for her daughter, her voice echoing among the trees. After days without a response, she decided to report the disappearance to the police. She could be in danger, she insisted, crying as she described her daughter. A search team was mobilized, and Maria began distributing flyers in her community, determined to find her daughter. The nights grew long and despair filled her heart. Meanwhile, Anna faced loneliness and fear. The cave became a place of psychological torment. The man, in his fits of rage, began to speak disjointed and threatening words, revealing signs of deteriorating sanity. In one of those moments, he expressed the idea that she belonged to him. Anna fought back tears, promising herself that she would seek her freedom. With fears and uncertainties driving her, she started to formulate a plan. While the man was distracted, Anna began collecting stones and sticks, trying to build a tool to help her escape. Determination grew with each passing day, and in her hours of solitude, memories of her mother were her beacon of hope. One night, the man was sleeping near an improvised campfire, and Anna saw the opportunity she had been waiting for. Carefully, she began to dig a passage in the cave's floor, her heart racing with each movement. When she managed to create a small opening, Anna began to feel that freedom was within reach. The distant sounds of the forest called to her, and each breath she took was filled with hope. However, her joy was cut short when she heard a snap. The man was waking up. "What are you doing, Anna?" he asked, his voice laden with suspicion. Her heart raced, but she answered, trying to stay calm, "Just tidying up a bit." The man looked at her with a suspicious expression, but before he could confront her, he turned and left the cave. Anna took a deep breath, relieved but aware that the opportunity might not last long. As soon as he was gone, Anna began to dig again, knowing that time was of the essence. She felt the adrenaline coursing through her body, and the idea of freedom motivated her. She was so close to what she needed to become, a survivor. Finally, the opening was large enough for her to pass through. The moonlight illuminated her path as Anna prepared for her escape. As she stepped out of the cave, the fresh air hit her face, bringing with it a mix of hope and terror. The fear of being discovered urged her on as she moved quickly through the underbrush. The forest, which had once seemed like a safe place, now felt like an oppressive maze, each shadow a potential threat. Anna began to run, her heart racing uncontrollably. Each step took her further away from her captivity and closer to safety. But the echoes of her own footsteps mingled with the sounds of something following her. The man was chasing her, and the adrenaline surged again. He shouted behind her, his words cutting through the air like knives. This made her speed up, ignoring the pain in her legs. She needed to reach the road. When she finally spotted the light of a road in the distance, her heart exploded with hope. Almost there, she thought to herself, but the man was closing in and her determination increased. "No, you won't catch me," she shouted, not looking back. With each heartbeat, she felt the desperation and the fight for her life. When she reached the edge of the road, Anna began to wave frantically at an approaching car. The driver, shocked at the sight of a bloodied and breathless woman, stopped abruptly. "Please help me," Anna pleaded, throwing herself into the vehicle. The driver immediately turned on the engine and began to drive quickly. "He's coming," Anna screamed, her body shaking with fear and relief. The driver, realizing the gravity of the situation, quickly grabbed the phone and called the police, while Anna tried to compose herself. When the police arrived, the concern on Anna's face was evident. She quickly described the man and the location of the cave, but a part of her felt a chill run down her spine at the thought of what might have happened if she hadn't escaped. Maria arrived shortly after, her eyes filled with tears at the sight of Anna. The two embraced, and the love they shared was a balm for their emotional wounds. Their union became a symbol of strength. The police reconstructed what had happened and began searching the area where Anna had been held. However, the man seemed to have vanished without a trace. His identity and motivations became a mystery that would haunt Anna for a long time. Although she felt relieved to have escaped, the thought that he was still at large kept her in a constant state of alert. The despair began to dissipate, but the trauma of the situation haunted her in her dreams. Weeks went by, and Anna began her journey of recovery. With the support of friends, family, and therapists, she started to speak about her experiences. She participated in support groups and became involved in awareness campaigns, sharing her story to help others who had gone through similar experiences. The desire to help others find the strength that she had within her became a new mission. The forest, which had once been a place of pain, was transforming into a symbol of resilience and renewal. One day, while visiting a school to talk about trail safety, Anna felt a wave of courage. As she shared her story, she noticed the attentive gaze of the students and felt that every word she said had a purpose. It was a way to transform her pain into a legacy of hope. At the end of the lecture, many approached her to thank her and share their own stories, creating a support circle that Anna had never imagined she would have. However, over time, the memories of the cave and the man did not disappear completely. Anna began attending therapy sessions, which helped her cope with the persistent traumas in her mind. As she faced these challenges, she developed techniques to reconnect with her essence, mentally traveling to moments when she felt stronger and more connected to nature. These experiences became a source of inspiration in her new, transformed life. One day, determined to face her fears, Anna organized a walk back into the forest. With supportive friends, she ventured onto the trail where it all began. The memories were fresh, but this time they were accompanied by a new understanding. She was no longer a victim, she was a survivor. As she walked, the smell of damp earth and the distant song of birds enveloped her, bringing with it a renewed sense of hope. The forest resonated with its stories, and this walk would become a ritual of rebirth. When she arrived at the clearing where the abduction occurred, Anna took a deep breath, feeling anxious yet determined. The tree planted in honor of survivors was now in bloom, and she approached it with a sense of gratitude. This space had transformed into a symbol of recovery and the impact her story had on the lives of others. "I am stronger than ever," she murmured to herself in an act of reconciliation. Freedom lay before her. Anna planted a new tree next to the one that was already there, promising that it would grow strong and sturdy as a landmark of hope and resilience. With each watering, she felt more connected to the earth and her renewed purpose. The friends around her encouraged her, and together they began to create a space for communion, where survivors could gather and share their stories. The forest was now a place of support and healing. As the months passed, Anna continued to support and participate in these gatherings. With each meeting, more and more people showed up, uniting their experiences and strengths. Building this community became essential for everyone involved, and Anna realized how love and support could be powerful tools for overcoming trauma. She began to dream of a support network where everyone's voices could be heard, no matter how painful their stories were. With increased awareness and gatherings, Anna transformed her experience into a larger project, an annual event to celebrate resilience and life. While planning the event, she focused on inviting speakers, therapists, and community members to share their stories. The event would become a safe space for empowerment and mutual strengthening. She knew that the struggle still existed, but now she had a purpose beyond herself. On the day of the event, the forest was alive with voices and energy. People of all ages gathered, and the trees seemed to whisper melodies of support. Anna looked at the assembled crowd with a sense of gratitude. Her speech, filled with hope and awareness, resonated in the air. "We are here to show that even after pain, life can be reborn." Her words touched many hearts, and tears of joy and empathy spread among the audience. Alongside the special guests, Anna organized activities and workshops that focused on building trust and caring for one another. The event became a celebration of unity, transforming the forest into a vibrant space of healing and love. Previous memories began to fade, and she realized that she was helping others find their own strength, just as she had found along her journey. She could finally look at those trees without fear, but with renewed brightness. With each new event, the group grew, and the celebration of life became a tradition. Anna felt fulfilled as she now lived with a sense of freedom she had not known before. Her pain had transformed into a space of hope. The support that emerged from the forest was not just about asking for help, it was about embracing others. Solidarity became a pillar, and the fight for the safety and rights of survivors would always unite their voices. After years of struggle, Anna became an advocate and a symbol of resilience. Looking at the forest, she saw not only the place where she faced one of the worst moments of her life, but also a place where thousands of stories could be rewritten. With each step she took, she reaffirmed that the past had no control over her present. The forest resonated with the power of every shared story. She knew that each scar was a testament to her healing and victories. On a full moon night, Anna decided to reflect on her journey by sitting near the tree she had originally planted. With her mother by her side, the memories began to flow. "How do you feel now?" Maria asked, looking at her daughter. Anna smiled, her eyes shining. "Finally, I feel free. And I want everyone to feel the same." This desire pulsed in her heart, and Anna knew that her story would always have a positive impact on the lives of others. As the moon illuminated the treetops, Anna realized that the shadows were no longer terrifying. They represented the depth of her experiences and the beauty of her recovery. In her journey, she found a new voice and a purpose. With the support of the community, she transformed pain into light, and the forest became a sacred space of resilience and love. With that, Anna finally became the woman she had always wanted to be, not a victim but a survivor ready to face the future with courage and hope.